Hello and welcome to North Penn's Finest. I'm your host, Ted Heller. Today on the show, we'll be talking to North Penn High School teacher Noriko Coyle on her recent Teacher of the Year award, and senior Leisha Z, who will also join us to discuss his outstanding success in the scientific research field. But first, joining us is our new Director of Secondary Education and Professional Development for the North Penn School District, Dr. Deborah McKay. Deb, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Dr. McKay, let's talk about your recently appointed in the district. What's your exact title and what do you do?
Well, my exact title is Director of Secondary Education and Professional Development. I've been here for about 10, 11 weeks. I started at the
fresh.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, I started at the beginning of August. And I most recently came from a principalship. I was the principal of Snyder Middle School in Ben Salem Township School District. But I've been in administration for about 14 years in a combination of middle school and high school building level administration.
How did we pull you away from Ben Salem?
It was.
Is this closer to home?
It's 5 minutes.
See?
It's 5 minutes. I live in Delaware County, but the commute's it's manageable. I've always been attracted to the North Penn School District. It's always had a great reputation for having a great academic program, and we talked a little earlier prior to our program starting, and I first knew North Penn from the Marching Knights because our children were involved in the Marching Royals through Upper Darby High School. So,
Deb, you can come back to the show anytime. Let me talk to you about what are your main responsibilities?
My main responsibilities, there's a myriad responsibilities, but the first piece of my job responsibilities is really just to work collaboratively with our secondary principals to help them to support student achievement. And my other area of responsibility is professional development, which is really to support teachers in the classroom to provide them with the resources, materials that they need to be successful in working with our students.
Okay. My principal is Dr. Sean O'Sullivan. Do you think he's doing a good job?
He is doing an amazing job. And I would say that about all of our secondary principals and all of our principals here in North Penn.
I know you're dedicated to your work, all that. What do you do on the outside to have fun? Do you do anything?
We do. I love camping. I love the outdoors. I love hiking. I love reading. We have 3 grown daughters, so I love spending time with family.
I like camping too, as long as we can stay in a hotel. I'm not into the whole tent thing. Okay, here is the main reason why people are tuning into North Penn's Finest. We are here to talk about the Keystone exams.
Yes.
What are the Keystone exams?
Well, the Keystone exams, on July 23rd, the state of Pennsylvania informed all the school districts that we were needing to administer these exams starting for this school year. There have been talk in the last couple of years about having the Keystones, but the decision was made that we needed to do this and to move forward. What the Keystone exams are, they're rigorous end-of-course assessments. So at the end of it, think of it as a final exam. That's going to be cumulative and cover all the material that you've learned throughout the year. So that's what a Keystone exam is. And there are 3 specific areas that our students need to complete for this year based on whether or not you've taken these courses. It's Algebra 1, Biology, and English Literature.
Okay.
So they're the 3 Keystone exams for this year.
More importantly, my son's a senior here at North Penn High School. He's going to graduate in June. He better graduate in June, and
he
all
will,
the other
I'm
seniors.
Sure. Absolutely.
Like his friend Alex Simon. Can we talk about how does it impact this current senior class?
There is no impact.
That's what I wanted to hear. Okay. What will happen with the PSSAs? Is that the same thing? What's going to happen?
They replace the PSSAs for 11th grade only go away. So for this year, our grade 11 students do not have to take PSSAs, but they will need to take the Keystones, and they will need to take the 3 Keystone exams, which are the Biology, English Lit, and Algebra 1.
Okay. The classes of 2014, 2015, 2016, what are the major changes for each of those classes? The current 9th, 10th, and 11th graders.
Well, what's been great about North Penn is that this district has been really working hard to make sure that over the last couple of years that our curriculum supervisors and the folks that are involved in that area are working to support teachers, to revise curriculum, to make sure that our curriculum is really aligned so that our students here in North Penn will be successful and can be successful in the Keystone exams. So we continue to make those adjustments. We've been doing that and we'll continue to do that over the next couple of years. Now, it's our current 8th grade students that need to take these exams as part of the requirement for high school graduation.
Well, is this just North Penn, or is this throughout the entire state of Pennsylvania?
This is throughout the entire state of Pennsylvania. Okay. Now, the key thing that I also want to mention, though, is that it's also very important for our current juniors and when all of our students become junior students to really take this Keystone seriously at that time in their lives, because it does count towards the AYP, the adequate yearly progress, which is important to our school district.
Now, here's a problem. What if we have a student that will not be proficient in one area or all areas? What happens to the student?
We are working hard to make sure that students are supported. But let's say, for example, that a student in Algebra 1, they take the Keystone at the end of this year, they're not successful. What's going to happen? Those students are going to be taking Algebra 2 next year, and recognizing that there's usually an Algebra 1 review and then the continuation of the algebra. So they'll have the opportunity to retake the Keystone again at the end of the next year. So, and this is pretty much the same procedure. The goal is to make sure that all students are supported. If they're not proficient, that we provide the intervention and remediation for them. They retake the exam. And then ultimately, let's say over time, that when the students get to the end of their 11th grade year and they are not proficient on the Keystone, so we're talking, this is down the road a couple of years, there are these project-based assessments that students will be able to delve into. So we're a couple years away yet from.
All right, but we're getting close.
We are.
It's coming, and we don't have a choice.
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
As a district, do the teachers have to manipulate anything they're doing in the current courses now to prepare for this, or is it already being taught?
There's a couple of adjustments that do need to be made with our teachers, and particularly in the math and science area. So there are some adjustments, and we'll continue to make those adjustments.
So for the parents watching, what is really the #1 thing they need to know about the Keystones?
What I would say to the parents is to, first of all, know that the students are really receiving a rigorous education here in the North Penn School District. And that they will, our prediction is that the students are going to be successful. And those students that aren't successful for the first try, we're providing those opportunities for them to experience success when they retake the Keystone again at another point. So I would say to the parents, work with your student to have them not necessarily be stressed out, but to just let them know to just continue to think about just being prepared, doing their best in those subjects, all subjects, but especially those subjects that do align with the Keystones. I'm
sure with parents watching, they might have additional questions. Where can they go for answers? Can they contact you? Who can they get in touch with?
They are more than willing to. I'm more than happy to have them reach out to me, Deb McKay. I'm on the website. You can find me in the North Penn website area. But another area where there is a lot of information is on our intranet. So if you go into our district intranet, there's a Keystone link under the For Families tab. And as we find out more information from the state, we continue to add more tabs to that. And you'll see when you go into that For Families tab, there's a lot of information that's already there that gives more information to the parents about the Keystones.
Okay. We got a good dose of Keystone. Did we miss anything?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Well, first, thank you for being on the show. Oh, but before we do, I need to know, where did you get your bachelor's? Did you go to Temple?
I went to Bloomsburg.
Where'd you get your master's?
Widener.
Where'd you get your doctorate?
Widener.
I still like you.
Well, thank you. It's been great. I would love to come back. Thank you.
Thanks, Deb, for joining us. It was great to meet you. Coming up next, we're going to turn from break, and next we'll be meeting North Penn High School teacher. Ms. Coyle will be joining us. Stay tuned.
Go get your old cans out of the trash can and put them to better use, like to send a message. To the people you love, going green can help everyone. Gives you a loving heart, keeps you healthy, and makes you happy. So go green for your grandpa, your cat, your mom, and anyone else you can think. So bypass the trash can, go green, and recycle.
And welcome back to North Penn's Finest. Join me now. We have North Penn High School teacher of Japanese, Nori Coyle. Nori, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. First, first of all, how long have you been at North Penn High School?
This is my 14th year at North
14
Penn.
years. Okay. Did you get right out of college and go into teaching?
Oh no, actually I worked in for Sony when I was in Japan. And before I came to North Penn, I worked for an engineering company in Horsham, PA. I also taught music privately.
Oh, really? What? What instrument you play?
Piano and music and movement.
Okay, great. You had to go to college.
Yes.
You went to Temple University?
No, I went to college in Japan.
College in Japan?
And, yes,
Can we name it in case I might know it?
It's a business college in Japan.
What was the name of it?
It's Shoin.
I don't know it. Okay. I thought maybe I knew it.
Okay.
What made you leave that area of the business workforce and become a teacher? Why? Why are you a teacher?
Well, actually, I was recruited by the district 13 years ago. So I never thought I was going to teach Japanese. So when I came here, I had to take courses and get certified.
They recruited you?
Yes.
Did they say, here's like $4.5 million we need you? Is that how it worked?
I wish it wasn't, no.
No? I tried. Here at North Penn High School, many years ago, they had smaller offerings
Yes.
of the Japanese entry-level program at North Penn High School. Now, there's a 3-tiered course sequence preparing for students for the Japanese in college, and you designed it.
Yes.
Explain what that's all
Well,
about.
when I first came here, there were only 32 students, and the program was very small. And so I had to, work hard to build. And we changed textbooks. And I guess 3 years, within 3 years, I had enough students to become a full-time teacher. So yes,
so
we do
when you started, you weren't even full-time then?
No, we only had 32
You're
students.
getting $4.8 million and you weren't even full-time? How long did it take you to build that program up?
To become a full-time teacher, I think it was about 2 or 3 years.
Fantastic. Now, how many students are in the Japanese program?
Usually it varies, but usually about 100 to 110 students.
Wow, 32 up to 100. Fantastic. That's great.
Thank you.
Great growth. Are these courses year-long? Are they semester? Are they electives? How do you explain the
Well, it's
Japanese
elective, but it's year-long also. So mostly students take Japanese 1 when they are sophomore. They'll continue for 3 years.
Okay. So let's just say I was a student here at North Penn, which I was about 8 years ago. Why would I want to take Japanese?
Well, from my perspective, it's great to be able to open the door to another culture and, help you understand different culture and how, where, people came from different countries. And I think that's important. We live in a multi-cultural society, so I think that's a good thing.
When the students graduate after 3 years of Japanese,
Yes.
are they fluent speaking the language?
No, exactly. Some students are pretty good, yes.
Okay,
But
okay. It says you encourage your students to do things outside of the classroom to cultivate their understanding and appreciation of the Japanese language. What are some of those things you have them do?
Well, I am a strong supporter of local and national competitions and also the study abroad programs. So I enjoy coaching them.
There's Japanese competition?
Yes.
In
Well, oral competitions, Makami oral competitions every year, and also we have national exams. It started 2 years ago. And also we have a Japanese language proficiency test, which happens once a year. So I encourage my students to, take those tests.
Is Japanese offered only at North Penn High School, or do you know, are they offered in the other surrounding schools,
Yes,
the school districts?
with Heiken High School, they start when, I think they start in middle school, and they have AP, Japanese. Lower Marion High School, also Downington, East and West, they have.
So not
quite,
everybody.
yeah,
There
not
are
everybody, yes,
no.
but yeah.
And no one has it as nice as North Penn nowadays. Your students call you sensei?
Yes.
What does that represent?
Okay, sensei means master, and then, any teacher doesn't have to be a school teacher. If you're a martial art teacher, then, you're a teacher, sensei. My mother is an acupuncturist. She's a sensei. People call her sensei. Politicians, they are sensei also. So
how could I be a sensei?
how could you be a sensei?
I'm a music teacher.
Music teacher, so you are. Hella Sensei.
Can we change that where it says Sensei? Is it Sensei Heller? I like this. You have been selected for a very prestigious award. You were named the American Association of Teachers of Japanese 2012 Teacher of the Year for K through 12. Is this true?
Yes, I'm very grateful. I'm very humbled.
It's quite an honor.
Yes.
Your principal, the principal of North Penn High School, Bert Hines, said you were an inspiring teacher and your enthusiasm, dedication, and talent in the classroom. He said you are the driving force for the success of the Japanese program at North Penn High School. How did you get selected for this award?
Well, over the summer, I got a phone call from professor at Villanova, and she told me that she was going to be nominating me for this position. And so, what do I have to do? So I had to get 3 recommendation letters written about me, and I had to update my resume extensively, and also write an essay about my teaching philosophy, including service to the community and service to the profession and so forth. Also, they have contacted me through emails and phone calls.
Did you receive the award? Yeah.
Well, I got an award, but I'm going to be formally presented with the award next month at the convention center.
Where?
Convention center, Philadelphia.
Oh, in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes.
Do you have to give a speech?
I have to present. I have to. Yes. I probably do, but I have to do presentation and join a panel discussion. So I'm going to be doing some work there too.
Fantastic. Now, you're really into teaching, I could tell. What else do you do on the side? What do you do for fun?
Okay. Well, I really enjoy spending time with my family. Cycling, swimming. Yard work. My husband and I built a pond many years ago, and I just enjoy listening to the waterfall, frogs, just simple thing in nature.
Earlier, Dr. McKay said she liked camping. Are you into camping?
Not really.
I need a hotel room. Nori, first of all,
Yes.
congratulations
Thank
on
you so
that
much.
fantastic honor and the award. And thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Folks, don't go anywhere. Coming up next, we have a 17-year-old North Penn High School student who has done 2 years of research on liver cancer. Coming up next, don't go anywhere. And welcome back to North Penn's finest. Sitting right next to me here is North Penn High School senior Leisha Z. First of all, Leisha, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
You're a senior, like I said before. We're talking about the field of science, and we're going to dive into a little bit more of that. Why are you so interested in science? When did it first hit you?
Sure. Both my parents are scientists, actually. They both work at Merck. I guess since I was very little, I guess it's just been in my family. I knew my parents both did that, and I just naturally had an interest in the topic.
Now, for a few years, you've been working on something very specific regarding. This is my weak area, so you're going to have to go into great detail there, but not too much detail.
Sure.
Are you working on DNA and cancer? First of all, where have you been doing this? I mean, is this something you can do in your house?
No, not at all. I work in a Drexel laboratory. It's affiliated with Drexel, but it's located at the PA Biotechnology Center of Bucks County in Doylestown. So
you go to Doylestown?
Right. Over the summer, I would drive there and work there. Yes.
How did you get hooked up there?
The principal investigator, the head of the lab in which I worked, she goes to my church. So 2 years ago, we just approached her and asked if I could just come into her lab. We had heard that other students had previously done some work in her lab just for experience, and I thought maybe my dad and I thought maybe it would be a good idea for me to try it out and see if I could get a little experience in doing research.
She's looking pretty smart right now.
Thank you.
Do you have someone you work with, or do you work on your own?
When I first started, one of the other interns there, a college student, he helped me and he taught me some of like the basic lab protocols and such. She also has her postdoctoral fellow, Dr. Surbi Jain, also assisted me a lot in troubleshooting and guiding me through the project. So, but all the experiments and stuff I conducted independently.
Let's talk about the topic. What
Sure.
exactly is the topic?
The topic is DNA methylation. That's just a fancy term for a methyl group. It's just a molecule that basically comes and binds to your DNA, and it shuts your gene off, that gene. Now this happens in cancer when that molecule binds to a tumor suppressor gene. Now if you shut off a tumor suppressor gene, then obviously you're going to start developing tumors and start developing
All right,
cancer.
you didn't lose me yet, but let's not get too crazy here. What are you working on then?
So what we do is we look for that molecule, that methyl group that attaches to your DNA. And if we can see that that's there, we use that as a biomarker and a detection method for detecting liver cancer.
Now, are you trying? You're trying to find a cure for something? What are you trying?
Just a detection method. Liver cancer is a really deadly disease because it lacks an early detection method. So if more people could be detected earlier, we could find the disease and treat it before it's past the point that it's treatable.
Probably get ahead of myself, but when you go off to college, assuming you're going to college,
Yes.
Is this something you're going to continue to work on, or when you go, you have to stop it and go on to something else?
I would probably have to stop it. I'm not sure if I would be able to find a lab wherever I go to college that does. I could probably find something similar, but our lab's focus is very specific, and would probably have to stop the project. Yeah.
Leisha, did you wake up one morning and say, "I want to find this cancer"? Or
No.
How did this come about?
Not at all. Like I said, at first it was just, we thought it would be a good idea for me to get some experience doing research. And at first we had no expectations of any sort. It's just purely for the experience again. And things went well the first summer there, and the results that I produced were really good. So I gave a shot at the science fairs, and it turned out well. So went back this year again and continued the work.
Are you going to work there this summer?
Probably not, actually. The project's at a point that it's got a good point right now, and the people who are at the lab right now still will be working on it throughout the year. And next summer, I might have other things going on. I'm not so sure yet.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Now, for your research on this project, you were awarded some nice recognition.
Yes.
You were named a Davidson Fellow Scholarship Award winner by the Davidson Institute for Talent Development. Is this true?
Yes.
And part of the recognition is that you received $25,000.
Yes, that's true.
I'm your best friend. Do you get cash, or does it just go into a savings that you take out for college?
Right. It goes into like an account, or I guess some accessible place where as I go to college and I have tuition checks or tuition bills and whatnot, I can fill out a form and ask them to pay for the tuition. So it's a scholarship for college.
What is the Davidson Institute?
The Davidson Institute is a philanthropic organization that Bob and Jan Davidson created. They were the creators of like the Math Blast educational DVDs or CDs. They sold that, made a lot of money, and decided to create this institute to develop talent and promote things for such as this, scholarships for students who have done considerable research and such as.
Did they
like
come
that.
after you, or was there an application?
It was an application, yes.
So how and when did you find out about you won?
I applied in February, and in August, and when I was working, my mentor received a call from them just to confirm that my work was all done independently, no one had helped me with my work, and to make sure everything we said in the application was true. And then a couple weeks after that, I received an email notifying me.
You must have been thrilled.
It was a very good feeling.
Have you entered other science competitions?
I have. I've done the Montgomery County Science Fair.
Now, is this just North Penn, or is this on your own? How are you getting connected with these other competitions?
The Montgomery County and the Delaware Valley Science Fairs are through the North Penn, the MPHS Stars Club. I've also entered Drexel Discovery Day, both last year and this year. That's very small. It's a small symposium at Drexel. It's an internal competition. And I also applied this year for the Siemens competition, for which I was notified that I was a regional finalist last week. So.
Fantastic. Congratulations. We were talking jokingly that we have to rush out here. You have a train to catch. Where are you going? You have to catch a train. Where are you
I'm
headed?
going to Penn, University of Pennsylvania, for a math class tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that class every day you take the train?
It's Tuesday and Thursdays.
When's the class?
From 6:15 to 8:30.
So what time are you coming home?
Probably around 9 or 10 or 11.
When you having dinner?
I usually get dinner in the train station while I wait for the train.
So does anyone go with you or on your own?
No, I'm just by myself.
You all grown up.
It's very college, yeah.
You're also a National Merit Scholarship semifinalist. What's the next step for that?
Well, there was an application I filled out a few weeks ago. You submitted an essay, and then they will look at that, and they'll look at your transcript and your SAT scores on top of your PSAT scores. And then they'll let us know if we're finalists in January, I believe. And then after that, once you're a finalist, you can be considered for the actual scholarships.
Good luck for that.
Thank you very much.
Now, there's other things you do. Are there other things you do at North Penn? And I'm not sure how it's even possible because you sound like you're so busy. Are you involved in anything else?
Yeah, I sing in all the extracurricular choir ensembles here. I also play tennis on the boys varsity team, and I'm a co-captain.
All right. Now, you're a senior. You're going to graduate. I'm going to throw something out at you. Have you thought about Temple?
I was warned about your question already. Probably not. I think it's a bit too close.
Okay. Where are you thinking about going?
I'm applying to Harvard early.
And when you say early, when would you like to know if it happens?
I think I find out middle of December.
Okay. Leisha, I mean, that's quite a resume you've built up already.
Thank you very much.
You didn't even graduate North Penn. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Congratulations on all the accomplishments and the
Thank
money. It's nice to have that. And good luck next year at hopefully Harvard.
Hopefully.
Or we can fall back on Temple maybe. Leisha, thanks for joining me on today's show.
Thank you for having me.
That is all for this edition of North Penn's Finest. Our thanks to Dr. Deborah McKay and Miss Nori Coyle for joining us on today's show. Be sure to check out all of our programming on nptv.npenn.org. For North Penn Television, I'm Ted Heller. We'll see you next time on North Penn's Finest.